I knew I could do it and that it would change my life doing it.
What happens when Hollywood's strongest woman can't save the man she loves? Why did a relationship built on decades of devotion, shared grief, and unbreakable bonds still crumble into separation? And why did Sam Shepard, a man who once proposed in the snow, giggling like a child, ultimately die alone with an oxygen machine, unable to escape his own demons? This is the painful truth behind Jessica Lange and Sam Shepard's love story, a romance so intense it lasted nearly 3 decades, yet so fractured it could never find peace. You go through life, you're kind of in love, and then suddenly you have a great love, Jessica Lange once said, reflecting on what Sam Shepard truly meant to her. That single sentence captured everything. This wasn't just romance. It was something rare, overwhelming, and impossible to replace. For nearly 30 years, they fought to hold onto that love, even as it tested them in every possible way. From the outside, they were Hollywood's most intense and admired couple. Jessica Lange, strong, fearless, and fiercely independent. Sam Shepard, brilliant, talented, but deeply troubled. Their love looked powerful enough to survive anything. But behind closed doors, it was a constant battle against addiction, emotional distance, and inner demons that refused to let go. In an earlier Vanity Fair interview, Lange spoke about their bond with absolute certainty. "You get inextricable connections with people," she explained. "Sam actually buried my dad. He dug the grave. I was the one who told him his dad died. He was with me when I gave birth to 2 children. These weren't just memories. They were proof of a life deeply intertwined. Lives so connected that separation seemed unimaginable. And yet, despite that history, they eventually went their separate ways. Their love story began with an intensity few people ever experience. From the moment they met on the set of Frances in the early 1980s, they were consumed by each other. Lange once described those early days with unmistakable wonder. "Sam and I were so much in love, so wild about each other and being together. We were absolutely inseparable. We couldn't even go to the grocery store without each other. It was the kind of passion that shuts out the rest of the world." In December 1983, while filming Country in rural Iowa, something remarkable happened. Shepard, overcome by emotion, bought an antique sapphire ring and acted on pure impulse. In personal letters to a close friend, he described the moment he proposed to Jessica in what he jokingly called the corniest way imaginable. "I swept her outside into the cold wind and snow and popped the question," he wrote. "We jumped up and down together like little kids, giggling in the snow. It was a rare moment of pure joy between them, a glimpse of what their love could be when the darkness lifted, even if only temporarily." Despite the proposal, the couple never married. Still, they remained together for more than 25 years, finally separating in 2009. When Shepard first met Lange, he was already married, ending a relationship that had lasted over a decade. The decision to leave haunted him for the rest of his life. "The thing that hurts me the most is knowing I abandoned everyone, that I ran off and left everyone high and dry," he once confessed. And yet, he believed his love for Lange justified the pain. "I love this woman in a way I can't describe," he wrote years later. But as time passed, the romance grew darker. Shepard later admitted that his heavy drinking and destructive behavior slowly poisoned what they had. Eventually, they stayed together mainly for their children, Hannah Jane and Samuel Walker. In 2010, Shepard reflected openly on their years together, acknowledging both the connection and the chaos. "We're definitely an incredible match, but not without fireworks," he admitted before adding something revealing. "At this point, she's the only woman I could live with. What other woman would put up with me?" It was love marked by devotion, volatility, and deep understanding. One that burned brightly, even as it slowly consumed them both. In one of her final interviews before Sam Shepard's death, Jessica Lange looked back on their complicated bond with striking honesty. "I wouldn't call Sammy easygoing and funny," she admitted. "But everybody has their dark side, and he always does it with a sense of humor." It was a line that captured Shepard perfectly: brilliant, difficult, and never simple to love. Despite their differences, Shepard spoke of Lange with unmistakable admiration. He often said he had never known her to be dishonest, not once. To him, she possessed an absolute honesty that came from her Midwestern roots. Beyond her remarkable beauty, what truly moved him was her humility. Shepard once said he had never met anyone like her. To him, she was nothing short of astounding. Still, love alone wasn't enough to quiet the tension between Shepard's creative obsession and his devotion to Lange. He was constantly torn between his need to write and his desire to be with her. That inner conflict shaped much of their life together. For Lange, the struggle was relentless. She battled Shepard's addictions, his emotional distance, and his tendency to withdraw. Though he remained the greatest love of her life, making the relationship work often felt impossible. Looking back, Lange once explained how it all began. When we started it, it was never with the intention that we were going to run off, live together, have a family, do all these regular things. It was just this unbelievably passionate love affair. But then we just couldn't give it up. Shepard, especially in those early years, remained a mystery. He was constantly vanishing, immersed in music, nightlife, and a world Lange couldn't quite reach. While she was consumed by her film career, she often had no idea where he was or what he was doing. The hardest part was the constant separation. Shepard was never the kind of man who followed a woman's career around. He visited his family, but he never stayed long enough to simply settle into daily life. Lange once believed he would have been content if she never acted again, if they could disappear together into a quiet, untamed existence. But she couldn't stop working, and those long stretches apart slowly took their toll. His longtime friend Johnny Dark described Shepard bluntly. He was really a lost soul, looking for something impossible. He couldn't maintain relationships at all. Even when he was married to Jessica, he bought a place far away to run off to. Shepard's instinct to retreat never left him, no matter how much love surrounded him. As years passed, Jessica Lange's center of gravity quietly shifted. Family became her anchor. She often spoke about how motherhood and later becoming a grandmother transformed her completely. She once said that being a mother was the greatest joy of her life, and that becoming a grandmother was somehow even more joyful, lighter, freer, and deeply fulfilling. Meanwhile, Shepard's isolation deepened when he learned he was terminally ill. There was no cure. As months passed, he cycled through despair, anger, and resignation. Around the same time, he was arrested again for driving under the influence. Everything seemed to collapse at once. The last time Johnny Dark saw him remains haunting. Shepard insisted on driving himself despite barely being able to control his body. His breathing was so labored that he traveled with a large oxygen machine. Dark knew he shouldn't have been on the road at all. The next morning, Shepard left alone. It was the final goodbye. He died in 2017 from complications related to his illness. Looking back, it almost feels miraculous that Shepard and Lange stayed together for as long as they did. His lone wolf nature clashed endlessly with her ambition and emotional openness. Balance was something they searched for but rarely found. Shepard once reflected on love itself, saying, "I'm sure when you're looking for someone, you're looking for some aspect of yourself, even if you don't know it. What we're searching for is what we lack. You lack something, and you hope that it'll be fulfilled by whom you find." Perhaps that was why he stayed with Lange for so long, drawn to her honesty, her humility, the things he sensed were missing within himself. We may never fully understand how their passion endured for decades, but what remains undeniable is this. Theirs was a love shaped by longing, distance, and deep connection. A tragic romance that forever altered both of their lives. Even one of Hollywood's strongest women couldn't save the man she loved. Because sometimes, love simply isn't enough.